Well, hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I do not want to waste your time, so let's go straight to the lesson. Positive contractions. We have the contractions that include the be verbs am, is, are, auxiliary verbs have, has, had, and the modal verbs would and will. When we're taking two words like I am and then shorten them into one word, I'm, it's called a contraction. I am contracts to I'm. Oh, that apostrophe over there, it fills some missing letters. So let's begin with the contractions that are formed with am, is, are. So the first one that we have is I am. I am becomes I'm. I'm cooking dinner now. Am I? He is becomes his. His strong and handsome. Ooh. She is becomes she's. She's going to get her shoes. Now we have the contraction form of it is, which is it's. It has that s sound. It's. But be careful. In negative contraction, we say it isn't. It sounds z. Actually, I have a lesson on negative contractions. If you do want to learn more, I'll put a link to that in the description below. So make sure to check it out. So, it is becomes it's. It's a nice day to go to the beach. We also have they are, which is there. And yes, it sounds like these two words, there and there, like over there, there. They're planning to go on vacation. You are becomes your. You're such a good friend. So subscribe to my channel, it's free. And the last one in this group, we are becomes we're. We're happy to see you. Now, let's talk about the contractions including have, has, and had. Have and has are the auxiliary verbs in the present perfect, right? And had is the auxiliary verb in the past perfect. We only contract them when they're used in this way. I mean, in present or past perfect. Look at this example. I have had a necklace. This one is the present perfect, right? We can contract it and say, I've had a necklace. But we don't contract them when they're used as a main verb in a sentence. We say, I have a necklace. We don't say, I have a necklace. So, now let's take a look at our gorgeous auxiliary verbs. Have, has, and had. The first one is I have. It's nice and easy. I've. It isn't the first time that I've cooked. You have becomes you've. You've been so nice to me. We have becomes we've. We've just had dinner. They have becomes they've. They've done something wrong. He has becomes his. He's been working hard all day. She has becomes she's. She's watched that movie 4 times this week. It has becomes it's. It's been raining all day. Now, you can see that the apostrophe S could mean has or is. For example, the contracted form of she is and she has is she's. They have the same pronunciation and the same spelling. But don't let that confuse you. If the next verb is the past participle, then you will know that it's has. Always. It's a rule. A quick test. She's broken a leg. What is that apostrophe S? Is it has or is? Quick, decide. It's has, because the next verb is the past participle, broken, right? Great. So let's continue with the auxiliary verb had. I had becomes I'd. I'd saved my documents before the computer crashed. He had becomes he'd. He'd gone out when I arrived. She had becomes should. She'd been under a lot of stress. We had becomes would. When they arrived, we'd already started cooking. You had becomes you'd. I wish you'd been there with me. They had becomes they'd. They just put the washing out when it started to rain. And the last one in this group, it had becomes it'd. I love this one. It's a funny one. It'd. It had been a while since we saw each other. Now, let's move on to the contraction would. I would becomes I'd. I thought I'd be late. And yes, it's very similar to the contraction had. But don't worry, bear a moment with me. I'll give you a rule to that to know the difference. Now, just let's continue. He would becomes he'd. He'd play football with his father when he was young. She would becomes should. Should look better with longer hair. Again, we have that funny one. It would becomes it'd. I thought it'd rain, so I brought my umbrella. We would becomes would. Every summer we'd go to the seaside. They would becomes they'd. Always they'd phone me in the middle of the night. You would becomes you'd. I know you'd eat that if you were me. Now, as you notice, the apostrophe D could mean had or would. But how can they be distinguished? Well, take a look at these two examples. He'd play football when he was young. And he'd gone out when I arrived. To know the difference, always look at the verb after the contraction. If the next verb is the original verb, I mean the bare infinitive without to, then that apostrophe D must be would. Like the verb play. Play is the original verb. So, he'd is the contraction form of would. He would play football when he was young. Now, if the next verb is the past participle, then it must be had. Like this one, gone. Gone is the past participle. So he'd means he had. He had gone out when I arrived. Now, a quick test. She didn't like her cousin because he'd made fun of her clothes. That apostrophe D, what is it? Had or would? Quick, decide. It's had, right? Because the next verb is the past participle. Great. How about this one? I'd like to buy a seaboat. That apostrophe D, what is it? Is it had or would? It's would, because the next verb is the original verb, right? Without to, like. Great. So now let's focus on the last one, will. I will becomes I'll. I'll be late to catch a train. Or we can pronounce it ul. Very, very quick. Don't try to be precise. Just try to be a little bit cool and relax. I'll be late to catch the train. But choose whatever works for you. He will becomes he'll. He'll be safe with her. She will contracts the she'll. She'll bring a bottle of wine. It will contracts to it'll. It'll. I don't think it'll rain. They will becomes they'll. They'll. Or they'll. Just try to be relaxed. They'll. Actually, I use this one a lot. They'll. Just try to be relaxed and a little bit lazy. They'll probably stay the night. You will contracts to you'll. You'll. You'll never guess what happened tonight. And finally, we have we will, which is will. Will. We'll call you after you rise. There you have it. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. It really helps with me and with my channel. And if you like English and you want to see me every week, you want to be friends, subscribe to my channel, and then in this way we can be best friends. Why not? Bye!